The Scottish Highlands in the 18th century were a world apart. A tapestry woven from mist-shrouded mountains, shimmering lochs and windswept glens. This remote and untamed region was a place where nature reigned supreme, and the landscape was both a source of inspiration and a formidable adversary. The morning mist would often cloak the mountains, creating an ethereal atmosphere that seemed almost otherworldly. The lochs, with their glassy surfaces, reflected the sky and the surrounding peaks, adding to the sense of mystique that enveloped the Highlands. This was a land of harsh beauty, where life was a constant struggle against the elements. The weather could change in an instant, with dark clouds rolling in to unleash torrential rain or fierce winds that howled through the glens. The rugged terrain, with its rocky outcrops and steep slopes, demanded resilience and resourcefulness from those who called it home. Yet despite the challenges, the people of the Highlands found a way to thrive, drawing strength from the land and their deep-rooted traditions. Towering peaks pierced the sky, their slopes cloaked in heather and bracken. These mountains were not just geographical features, they were symbols of the enduring spirit of the Highlanders. The heather, with its vibrant purple hues, blanketed the hillsides, creating a stunning contrast against the rugged rock. Bracken, with its feathery fronds, added to the tapestry of vegetation that thrived in this challenging environment. The mountains stood as silent sentinels, witnessing the passage of time and the unfolding of countless stories. Cascading waterfalls thundered into deep, mysterious lochs, rumored to be home to mythical creatures. These waterfalls, with their powerful and relentless flow, carved their way through the landscape, creating a symphony of sound that echoed through the glens. The lochs, with their dark and enigmatic waters, were steeped in legend and lore. Tales of creatures like the Kelpie and the Loch Ness Monster added an element of intrigue and wonder to these already captivating bodies of water. The Highlands were a place of ancient traditions and fierce loyalties, where Gaelic was the language of the heart, spoken alongside the King's English. The villages, with their stone cottages and thatched roofs, were centres of community life. Here, stories were passed down through generations, and the bonds of kinship were strong. The Gaelic language, with its lyrical and expressive qualities, was a vital part of the Highland identity, connecting the people to their history and their land. Clans held sway, their intricate tartans a symbol of kinship and shared heritage. Each clan had its own unique tartan pattern, a visual representation of their lineage and pride. Gatherings and celebrations were marked by the wearing of these tartans, along with traditional dress that included kilts, sporrans and skiandabs. The clans were more than just family groups, they were powerful social structures that provided support, protection and a sense of belonging. Life was governed by the rhythms of the seasons, by the ebb and flow of nature's bounty. The changing seasons brought both challenges and opportunities. Spring and summer were times of growth and abundance, with the land bursting into life and providing sustenance for the people and their livestock. Autumn and winter, on the other hand, were times of preparation and endurance as the Highlanders braced themselves for the harsh conditions that lay ahead. The cycle of the seasons was a constant reminder of the interconnectedness of all life in the Highlands. Sheep grazed on the hillsides, their wool destined to become warm plaids. These hardy animals were well suited to the rugged terrain, and their presence was a common sight in the Highlands. The wool they provided was a valuable resource used to create the iconic plaids and other garments that offered warmth and protection against the elements. The sheep were an integral part of the Highland economy and way of life, contributing to the self-sufficiency of the communities. Cattle roamed the glens, providing sustenance for the hardy Highland folk. These robust animals were a source of meat, milk and leather, essential for the survival and prosperity of the Highlanders. The cattle were often seen grazing in the open glens, their presence a testament to the resilience and adaptability of both the animals and the people who tended to them. The relationship between the Highlanders and their livestock was one of mutual dependence and respect, but the beauty of the Highlands belied a turbulent history, a land scarred by centuries of conflict. The ruins of ancient battlefields and fortifications dotted the landscape, silent witnesses to the struggles that had shaped the region. These sites were reminders of the fierce battles fought over territory, power and identity. The history of the Highlands was one of resilience and defiance, with the people enduring and overcoming countless challenges. The land had witnessed the clash of swords, the skirl of bagpipes calling men to battle. The sound of the bagpipes, with their haunting and stirring melodies, was a call to arms that resonated deeply with the Highlanders. Warriors, clad in traditional dress and armed with swords and shields, marched to the rhythm of the pipes, ready to defend their land and their honor. These moments of conflict were etched into the collective memory of the Highlands, shaping the identity and spirit of its people. Ancient feuds simmered beneath the surface, fueled by pride and a thirst for vengeance. These feuds, often rooted in long-standing grievances and rivalries, could erupt into violence and bloodshed. The tension between clans was a constant undercurrent in Highland life, influencing relationships and alliances. Despite the potential for conflict, there was also a strong sense of honor and duty that guided the actions of the Highlanders, ensuring that their loyalty to their clan and their land remained unshaken. And it was against this backdrop of rugged beauty and simmering tensions that the seeds of the Jacobite uprising were sown. The desire to restore the Stuart monarchy and reclaim their heritage drove many Highlanders to take up arms in a cause that would ultimately shape the future of Scotland. The Jacobite uprisings were a defining chapter in Highland history, marked by bravery, sacrifice, and a deep sense of purpose. The legacy of these events continues to resonate in the Highlands, a testament to the enduring spirit of its people. The 18th century was a time of great upheaval in Britain, a period marked by political intrigue, religious strife, and dynastic struggles. The country was in a state of flux, with power shifting between different factions and ideologies. The political landscape was constantly changing, and the common people often found themselves caught in the crossfire of these larger forces. It was a time when the very fabric of society seemed to be unraveling, and the future was uncertain. At the heart of this turmoil lay the Jacobite cause, a movement dedicated to restoring the exiled Stuart dynasty to the throne of England, Scotland, and Ireland. The Jacobites were not just fighting for a change in leadership, they were fighting for a way of life, for their beliefs and for their identity. The movement was fueled by a deep sense of loyalty and a desire to see justice done. It was a cause that inspired many to take up arms and risk everything for the chance to see their king restored to his rightful place. The Jacobites, named after Jacobus, the Latin for James, were primarily Catholic and believed that the rightful heir to the throne was James Francis Edward Stuart, known as the Old Pretender. James was the son of the deposed King James II, and many saw him as the legitimate ruler. The Jacobites believed that the Stuarts had a divine right to rule, and they were determined to see James restored to the throne. This belief was not just a matter of politics, it was a matter of faith, and it inspired a fierce loyalty among the Jacobite supporters. The Jacobite cause resonated strongly in the Scottish Highlands, where loyalty to the Stuarts ran deep. The Highlanders had a long history of supporting the Stuart dynasty, and they saw the Jacobite cause as a continuation of that tradition. The rugged landscape of the Highlands, with its remote glens and towering mountains, provided a natural stronghold for the Jacobite forces. The Highlanders were known for their fierce independence and their warrior spirit, and they were willing to fight to the death for their beliefs. Many Highlanders, fiercely independent and resentful of English rule, saw the Stuarts as their rightful kings. They believed that the Stuarts would protect their way of life and their traditions, and they were willing to fight to see them restored to power. The Highland clans were tightly knit communities, bound together by ties of kinship and loyalty. When the call to arms came, they rallied to the Jacobite cause with a fervour that was unmatched. They saw the fight as a matter of honour, and they were determined to defend their land and their people. They were willing to take up arms and risk everything for the return of their king. The Jacobite warriors were known for their bravery and their skill in battle. They fought with a determination and a ferocity that struck fear into the hearts of their enemies. The Highlanders were masters of guerrilla warfare, using the rugged terrain to their advantage. They were able to strike quickly and disappear into the mountains, making them a formidable force. Despite their lack of resources and their often outdated equipment, they fought with a spirit that was unbreakable. The Battle of Culloden, fought on a bleak moor on April 16, 1746, marked the culmination of the Jacobite uprising. It was the final, desperate attempt by the Jacobites to reclaim the throne. The battle was fought in harsh conditions with driving rain and biting wind. The Jacobite forces, led by Bonnie Prince Charlie, were outnumbered and outgunned. Despite their bravery, they were no match for the well-trained and well-equipped Hanoverian army. The battle was over in less than an hour, but its impact would be felt for generations. It was a brutal and decisive battle, pitting the poorly equipped Highland army against the well-trained forces of the Hanoverian government. The Jacobites fought with courage and determination, but they were overwhelmed by the superior numbers and firepower of the Hanoverian forces. The battlefield was a scene of chaos and carnage, with men fighting hand-to-hand in the mud and the blood. The Jacobite dream of restoring the Stuarts to the throne was shattered, and the survivors were left to face the harsh reprisals of the victorious government. The Jacobites, led by Bonnie Prince Charlie, grandson of James II, fought with courage and ferocity but were ultimately defeated. Bonnie Prince Charlie, the charismatic leader of the Jacobite cause, had inspired many with his vision of a restored Stuart monarchy. But in the end, his dream was not to be. After the defeat at Culloden, he was forced to flee, eventually escaping to France. The defeat marked the end of the Jacobite cause, and the hopes of the Stuart supporters were dashed. The legacy of Bonnie Prince Charlie, however, would live on in the hearts and minds of the Scottish people. Culloden was a watershed moment in Scottish history, marking the end of the Jacobite dream and ushering in an era of cultural and social upheaval. The defeat had far-reaching consequences for the Highlands and for Scotland as a whole. The government moved quickly to suppress any further resistance, implementing harsh measures to break the power of the clans. The traditional way of life in the Highlands was irrevocably changed, and many Highlanders were forced to leave their homes. The Battle of Culloden remains a poignant symbol of the struggle for faith and freedom, a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who fought for their beliefs. The name James Fraser resonates through Scottish history, echoing across the centuries like a call to arms. It is a name that conjures images of rugged Highland landscapes, fierce clan battles, and the indomitable spirit of a people who have faced countless trials and tribulations. The Frasers, a name deeply embedded in the annals of Scottish lore, have left an indelible mark on the history of this proud nation. It is a name synonymous with clan loyalty, military prowess, and unwavering devotion to the Jacobite cause. The Frasers were not just warriors, they were leaders, strategists and visionaries who fought for a cause they believed in with every fibre of their being. Their loyalty to the Jacobite cause was not just a matter of duty, but a deeply personal commitment to their heritage and their homeland. The historical record is replete with James Frasers, their lives intertwined with the tumultuous events of the 17th and 18th centuries. Each James Fraser, though unique in his own right, shared a common thread of bravery and resilience. They were men who stood tall in the face of adversity, whose stories are etched into the very fabric of Scotland's history. These men, often overshadowed by the mists of time, played pivotal roles in shaping the destiny of Scotland. Their contributions, though sometimes forgotten, were instrumental in the many battles and political upheavals that defined their era. From the grand halls of ancient castles to the blood-soaked fields of battle, the James Frasers were there, leaving their mark on every chapter of Scotland's storied past. One such James Fraser, shrouded in the mists of legend, is believed to have been a knight, his life dedicated to serving the Stuart cause. This James Fraser, though his exact deeds are lost to history, is remembered as a symbol of chivalry and honour. His dedication to the Stuart cause was unwavering, and his legacy lives on in the tales of bravery and sacrifice that have been passed down through generations. Details of his life remain tantalizingly elusive, fragmented pieces of a historical puzzle yet to be fully assembled. The scant records that do exist paint a picture of a man who was both a warrior and a statesman, a figure of great importance in his time. Yet much about him remains a mystery, a testament to the often incomplete and fragmented nature of historical records. Yet even these scattered fragments hint at a life lived on the edge of history, a life marked by both triumph and tragedy. The stories of these James Frasers are not just tales of war and conflict, but also of personal sacrifice, of dreams pursued and lost, and of a relentless drive to shape the future of their beloved Scotland. Another James Fraser, whose existence is more firmly established, served as a Jacobite officer during the 1715 uprising. This James Fraser's life is better documented, providing a clearer picture of his role in the Jacobite cause. He was a man of action, a leader who inspired those around him with his courage and determination. His story, though less shrouded in mystery, is no less compelling. He fought with a fierce loyalty to the Stuart cause, his actions on the battlefield earning him a place in the annals of Scottish history. His life, though marked by the hardships of war, is a testament to the enduring spirit of the Jacobite movement. He fought with unwavering loyalty for the Stuart cause, his courage tested on the battlefields of a divided nation. His bravery in the face of overwhelming odds is a story that continues to inspire, a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who came before us. His life, like that of his namesake, serves as a testament to the enduring power of the Jacobite cause and the sacrifices made in its name. The legacy of the James Frasers is one of courage, loyalty, and an unyielding commitment to their beliefs. Their stories, though separated by time, are united by a common thread of resilience and determination, a legacy that continues to resonate through the ages. Perhaps the most well-known James Fraser from this era is Simon Fraser, 11th Lord Lovat, often referred to as the Old Fox. A cunning and ambitious man, Lovat was a study in contradictions, a man driven by both self-preservation and a deep-seated loyalty to his clan and his heritage. He navigated the treacherous waters of Jacobite politics with a shrewdness that earned him both admiration and enmity from his peers. Lovat's life was a tapestry woven from intrigue, betrayal, and moments of genuine courage that defined his character. He played a dangerous game, switching allegiances between the Jacobites and the Hanoverians, always seeking to secure the best outcome for himself and his clan. He was a master manipulator, using his influence and cunning to further his own ambitions. Despite his flaws and his often questionable methods, Lovat remains a captivating figure in Scottish history. He was a product of his time, a man forced to make difficult choices in an era of political and religious turmoil. His legacy, like the man himself, is complex and multifaceted, a blend of light and shadow that continues to fascinate historians and storytellers alike.